And joining me now to give us details of the happenings at the House is our correspondent, Adisa. We saw all that played out today at the House of Representatives. We saw where even opposition lawmakers staged a walkout. But before we get to that, talk to us about the briefing, briefly about the briefing of the NCC.
Well, today we saw what happened, like you said. The lawmakers had to reconvene yesterday to ensure that they had this bill passed. And today we saw the lawmakers, all of them came in as early as possible. But like it happened yesterday, we saw a repeat of a stormy session, as it were. But by and large, what has happened now is that both bills have been passed for third reading in the aftermath of that walkout. We have seen members go for each other's throat, engage in physical combat here over this development. But the Speaker has come up to say all these are good for democracy. It also shows that the nation is advancing in democracy. So with what has happened today, the House, I'm sure will be very happy that it's been able to pass these two crucial bills at this time in the history of Nigeria. So from the rules of the House have been amended and the third reading of both bills have been taken. What it means now is that these bills are ready to be transmitted to Mr. President for his assent.
So let's talk about the issue of the NCC. We know that NCC was there, representative of NCC was there to give their own side of the understanding of how the network is and the role they can play in electronic transmission of results. But INEC was also supposed to appear, but we didn't see any representative of INEC there today.
Yes, yesterday what the House resolved to do was to invite the INEC chairman and the representatives of the NCC. But what we saw today was we saw representation from the NCC but none from INEC. And so that presupposes that INEC may not be able to make much contributions since it's a government agency that relies on whatever law is giving it to work with. But from what has come from the NCC submissions, it is clear that Nigeria may not be able to use electronic transmission across the country. From what they have said, out of 119,000 polling units at 2018, barely 50% are covered network-wise. And so they say what that means is that the remaining 50% will be left out, and that is the argument that the NCC has come to put on the table for the lawmakers. And so members expected, the leadership expected that from there, members will be enlightened to be able to take informed decision. But let me say here that I have with me a member of the civil society group, God bless Otubuyi. He will be talking to me on his reaction to this development. Yeah, you've been here since yesterday up till now. Now the House has adjourned and both bills have been passed. How do you react to this?
I'm clearly not the most happiest person right now because of what we have been working on this bill for the last 2.5 years. Our plan was to ensure that moving on from repealing the 2010 Act and giving us the 2021 Act, we should make commendable progress. Why are we talking about electronic transmission of results? It's simply because we want the process to be more credible and more transparent. And the fact that the moving of results across the country is why we see a lot of attack on youth corps members and people who are working within the value chain of electioneering. So for us, we just think that what we were expecting was that the Senate and the House would have analyzed, debated what I saw on that.
Don't you see the NCC argument that Nigeria, the entire polling units force that we have are not covered network-wise?
So what has happened when I listened to what the NCC representatives said, Senate was not to say it is not impossible. They just gave an analysis of what they've done in terms of the scale of the kind of network coverage. So you look at 2G, 3G, and all of that. And if you look at the other argument, people are saying you don't need 3G network to transmit results. Because if we can do USSD, a lot of people are saying, why don't we, look, and I think it's very important. This election we're talking about is not tomorrow. It's not the Anambra election. It's 2023. We have 2 years. Meaning that one of the questions that was posed at the NCC was, how long will it take to fix these sort of problems now that we can see them? And they answered and said, look, it depends on the scale of the project. Are we looking at fiber? Are we looking at just building mast? In the areas that don't have mast in 2021, Nigeria is saying you cannot fix mast in 2 years. That's not correct.
So where do we go from here?
Where we go from here is that we are analyzing the final report that will come out. We noticed that a section of the House members stayed a walkout, and our teams are analyzing the debates from the Senate and the House, and we're clearly going to look at what the final report is and what is finally passed, especially when it comes to Section 52, subsection 2, which created the uproar yesterday about the amendment, which is, if you look at what has even happened, the opposition and even Honorable Falake from Lagos said that we should have electronic submission of result also with manual. Why? Because electronic submission of result does not take away the manual part of it. You always have your paper ballot and the trail. That is what happens in the US as well, in other democracies. So I just think what we move to from here is we analyze it and say, let us benchmark where we're coming from and what we have now. Does it make any progress? If we analyze it and it doesn't make any progress, trust me, we will not accept this bill. But if it is making progress and we see that INEC has a discretion and it is now legally tenable in court that you can transmit results electronically, then we have a bill that we can celebrate. But for now, everything is still sketchy. There's a walkout. We don't know if the House is going to adopt. There's still a lot of uncertainty. But after today, we're sure we're going to have that.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. The last point to leave it there. Yeah, so far we've seen the House adjourned. Both bills have been passed. As far as they are concerned, the storm is over. And so Nigerians can lay claim to a new petroleum industry bill and a new electoral act that will serve as the basis for the 2023 general election.
Joke, I just want to quickly pick up on something you said earlier, just so to be clear. You talked about how the House has amended its rules, and then the bill will now be going to the President for assent. Quickly explain that to us.
Yes, what happened yesterday, the Speaker had to suspend the laying of the conference report because of the agitations that were on the floor. And so the report was not even laid. And today it was not listed on the other paper. And so immediately after the passage of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, they moved that the report be laid, be considered and passed. And so they had to amend their rules to ensure that they were able to take this so that they could achieve their intention ab initio. Since they will be proceeding on their long vacation from now, they wanted both bills passed. And since it was that clause that was the impediment, so they had to resolve on it. And the walkout staged by members of the opposition indeed made it easy for them to have their way. Like they say, the majority will always have their way, and the minority too will have their say. I think that scenario exactly played out yesterday and now and today.
Are they looking to harmonize the one from the Senate and the one from the House of Reps?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Are they looking to harmonize, because there is also a clause in that of the Senate that talked about the conditional use of electronics in the election. It's quite different from that in the House of Reps. So are they looking to harmonize that?
Yes, what we have now is about the same thing that has been passed, because what the House has done is leaving that either electronic or manual transmission, the transmission of the results at the behest of INEC. So whatever INEC feels is proper in a place, and that makes it conditional in whichever way that in whatever polling units that INEC feels okay, we can use electronic transmission, it goes with it. In areas where there is no network and INEC feels we should use manual, it goes. And so that also makes it conditional. And so by and large, both houses have passed the same thing, but in different words.
It's been a long day on this one. It's been a short period, but it looks like a long day on this one. Thank you so much for the update. We'll see how it plays out when it gets to the presidency.